So there's a minor deal that goes down tonight, but I don't know. I'm doing a video on it because Ville Pokka has moved on from Chicago. He's been acquired by Ottawa for Chris DiDomenico. Chris DiDomenico, of course, victim of a numbers game in Ottawa. And if Chicago decides to use him for the bottom six, okay. But considering the way they've misused Hinostroza this year, I don't have a whole lot of faith they're going to use DiDomenico better. Pokka's the interesting name to me. So if I had told Ottawa fans 3 years ago, hey, you guys are going to get Ville Pokka, they'd be like, really? That's awesome. And this is how far he's fallen. That he's in a deal that is barely going to get a mention. And I wonder if Ottawa can turn that around. Ottawa has a pretty solid resume when it comes to the way that they are with defensemen. Developing defensemen. And, you know, the departure of Phaneuf and now they bring in Pokka. I'm wondering if maybe Pokka gets a shot. Maybe this change of scenery was needed by him. It's funny because people are going to say, well, he was available on waivers for free. Why didn't they take him then? There's a whole contract in, contract out part of things too. Where, yeah, teams would grab guys on waivers, but then you've got to waive the guy again if you're going to require him. And it's a hassle. So you let him pass through waivers. You go to a team and say, hey, we're interested. Or, in Pokka's case, if he's having a half-decent season in the minors, maybe you say we're going to take a flyer on him. Ottawa's in full we're going to do whatever mode. This, to me, signals that the Senators are not only open for business, they're open for almost any business. And I think the exceptions are, I really can't see Stone, obviously. Hoffman, to me, is obvious. Carlson is really obvious to me. He's not going anywhere. And I would honestly be really surprised if any of the really key core guys are going to go anywhere. You know, this team has gone off the rails, but I've mentioned recently, Ottawa has a bad year and a good year. So they're supposed to, just by their cyclical nature, have a good year next year. Supposed to. Am I banking on it? Oh, I'm not banking on that. But again, with Chicago, the fact that they waive him first and now they deal him for a guy who's fourth line / AHL forward level in DiDomenico, it just shows that, you know, this is a kid that was highly sought and highly coveted, and now here we are. Like I said, 3 years ago, Pokka was considered a blue chip prospect, and this is why I get nervous about prospects, and this is why I say sometimes the smart team at the deadline is the one that doesn't sell the farm to get a prospect. Because getting a prospect / draft pick doesn't guarantee that it's going to improve your team. Now, of course, you play the odds. You just get a lot of draft picks. Then odds are some of them are going to help. But what are you giving up to get all of them? And does it really balance out? I've considered doing trades on that, or like videos on trades like that before, and just looking at teams that have sold off the farm at the deadline and see how it affects them later. It's a lot to go through though, and it's because you don't just look at that day. The funniest part is going to be on trade deadline day, you know, a week from this coming Monday, when they're like, here's the winners and the losers, and some of you are going to see your team on the losing list, and you're going to go, wait, why are we losers? And it'll be because you didn't do anything. And then the pundits think that's stupid. And sometimes the smart team is the one that doesn't make any moves at the deadline. Sometimes the team that makes weird moves at the deadline, like last year when Pittsburgh went out and got a bunch of defensemen, it's like, do they know something we don't know? And they did. Defensemen got injured, and they had plenty of depth to make up for it. So this is the kind of depth trade that I normally wouldn't do a video on, but based on the time of year, based on the fact it's Ottawa and Chicago, two teams that have been really highly disappointing. Ottawa's acquiring a blue liner, Chicago's acquiring a depth forward. They both are likely going to get a chance with their collective rosters, or respective rosters, I should say. Let me know what you guys think. If you're an Ottawa fan, do you look at a Ville Pokka and say, hey, this could really help us? Does this help turn things around for him? If you're a Chicago fan, are you excited about maybe a change to the bottom six? I think, you know, at the very least, he should get a shot at it. So we'll find out. But this occurred while I was at work, and I told GMs not to make trades while I was at work, and I'm a little bit perturbed about it. And it's likely going to happen again tomorrow. So, stupid NHL. I blame Bettman. That's who I blame. Let me know who you blame in the comment section below. Hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. And hey, thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you again soon.